Good morning. Welcome to Thursday morning and another episode of Ken versus 10. I'm Ken, SSK promo, Mr. Bill. And on Thursdays, I like to do this show where I'm trying to beat my death pile down 10 listings at a time. I'm going to list 10 items during this show. We usually go about an hour or so. And then what I do is I try to see how many of these items that I listed today during the show can I sell before next week's show. So we will get set up here, see if anybody pops into the chat. And on Thursdays, I always like to send out offers after I have a sale that ends. I run sales basically Sunday through Thursday and then Thursday through Sunday, just so that the sales end midweek or over the weekend, kind of gives folks a little bit of an urgency to maybe place an order for an item if they think that the sale is going to end soon. So I have actually 29 offers today that I can send out, and I've got some of them ready to go here that I'm doing at a 20% offer. And we will keep checking the chat here to see if anybody jumps in. I am going to see what, let's see, here's another one that I can do. I'm going to allow some offers on that particular item. So I'm sending out orders. And there we've got first up in the chat is Joe. I'd flip that. Good morning, sir. How are you today? I enjoyed one of your last videos there that you had Kristen, a rural squirrel, was visiting, and you did the kind of the bins bingo challenge. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Always good to see Kristen and her bubbly personality. And she won that one. That was a pretty neat concept to do. I like that. Maybe I'll have to get up to your area at some point and challenge. Of course, I want to take the belt home. I want to take the belt home with me. Bring it back to Ohio. Good morning, Danny. How are you today, Piqua resellers? Hopefully you're doing well and feeling better these days. Let me see. I'm not going to send offers on those because I'm going to bring up something about that. Let's see here. Send an offer. I want a ghost scream, like ghost mask that I've been trying to sell for a little bit. Yeah, that's a bummer when you can't go and participate in a fun event like that, for sure. Talking about a binge challenge that Joe had with Kristen, a rural squirrel she went up to visit in the area. Minnesota is where they were at. Good morning, mother. It is my mother checking in, and my pop. They're sitting over there next door watching the show. So I will update last week. I was kind of doing an experiment with sales and had some plush that I'm trying to organize and clean stuff out and get rid of a bunch of plush. I have a tons of plush. A lot are listed. I have even more than that that's not listed. And I'm also coupling that with all my plush sales. I am putting towards a travel fund so that I can go to all the reseller meetups and stuff around the country this year. Boss reseller mix in uh, Las Vegas and the FlipCon think that's over in South Carolina. And so I will update that here in just a little bit. But I am going to get to some listings right away here. Pull up my drafts. I have some things drafted. And what I'm going to do, I have these were I just had got in a lot of some stuff, some Monster High dolls. There's Frankie Stein right there. She has her original outfit on. She is missing like a handbag and a belt. And there's Katrine Demew. This was a Walmart exclusive one. And then this one right here. Sometimes Monster High, anytime I buy Monster High, it usually sells pretty good. And I picked these up. I forget. I have them marked that I have 75 cents in each of these. Picked them up at a yard sale or in a bundle with some other stuff. Yes, and there is Jimmy Old School Flips checking in, my partner on the Reseller Clickbait podcast. If you're not watching the Reseller Clickbait podcast, I'll put a link down below to that. Our last show was great. Jimmy had the line of the year so far. But yeah, there is a meetup. I think the Trash to Cash guys are doing something in Vegas in April. So looking at plans, that would be the first one out. So this Monster High doll, sometimes it's hard to research them, and I like to be specific to the year and what. There's several different variations of them, and this one is a Frankie Stein. She normally would have had like a helmet on and some skates, but I don't have those parts. And the outfit that she is wearing is actually from another doll, Howling Wolf or something like that. Um, yeah, Howling Wolf's outfit that she's wearing there. So I stated all of that in my description. And what I'm going to do though, just okay, go back to a little bit about the plush. I was doing that kind of trial last week to see if listing a bunch of stuff in one category would help to boost sales in that category of other items. And so what I'm gonna do, I have some other Monster High stuff that has been in my store for a while. Ones that are just more common, or there's like budget ones, and there's different things. I also have some furniture and stuff that is what do I want to look at here? I want to look at my listings that that's been sitting for a little while in the store. So what I think I'm going to do before I list these new ones is I'm going to go in, and anything that I have that is Monster High, I am going to end those listings, and then I'm going to relist them. Let's go back here and see which ones have ended. And I will click on all of those, make sure I don't have anything else in that list that I don't want to relist. And I think we're good there. And I'm just going to relist them just so that they kind of get a bump up in the search. They've all been sitting in there for a little bit. And now that I have done that, I will go back to my drafts and pop in these 3 new Monster High dolls that I'm listing today and see if that helps move some of that stuff along in the store. So I've got those listed. And so we're off. We're off with 3 of them right now. I talk a little bit about last week's show with the plush then. Of the plush that I listed, now they were 10, just like Kohl's Cares plush that I had. There was a couple other like Care Bears that were in there too. But the Kohl's Cares ones, they're not the greatest plush. I don't recommend picking them up. There's a few of them that sell really decent for halfway good money, but as a whole, the Kohl's Cares are very slow movers. They do go for maybe 10 to $15 at the most. Old school flips, you coming in April? Sunny wants to know. Good morning, Sunny. Las Vegas. Hopefully things are nice and warm out there for you. It's cold here this morning. Supposed to get some snow later in Ohio. We got snow and rain and sleet and freezing rain all day yesterday. If you saw my little Instagram story for the show, my mother and my niece, which would be her great granddaughter, went out and made some snowmen yesterday. And that snowman, they're looking pretty sad already because the temperatures got up to just a little over 40 and they started to melt and all the ice fell out and such. So they're looking pretty sad at the moment. But the plush, so I did sell one of the plush that I listed last week. So last week's total was, Ken 1, Death Pile 9. I got beat up last week pretty good, but I figured that on the Kohl's Cares plush, but it was more of the test to see if listing stuff in the same category helped sales in that particular category. And I want to say that I think that it did, as I sold about 9 I sold about 9 plush since last week. Some things that have been sitting on the shelf for quite a while and helped move those along. And good morning to Jill. She is checking in. Hello, hello. Jimmy says he is 90% sure that he's going to have to work out a couple of details, a couple of things there. And good morning, Roman. It's so cold in Ohio, yes, that all of my Care Bears are away, ran away to Florida. For sure, Roman. I was watching Roman's live yesterday. Roman, if you want to watch how to not be a reseller, you need to go check out Roman. Now, I only say that because that's what Roman says all the time. He'll say, "Hey, I can't even do his Russian accent. I love to listen to him. Hey guys, don't buy this stuff. This is not a good buy for you. Don't go to the bins and pick this up." That's that's my Roman Russian. Um, uh, what do you? What's the word? Impression. And what do we got right here? Let me see on this screen over here is. Oh, that's not what I wanted to open up. And the Lilac Seller. Good morning to you. Thank you for popping in. And Lilac, I had put on my notes when you were in here a couple weeks ago, or last week or something, what your name is, and I wrote that down so that I would remember. And imagine that, I forgot. I can't find it in my notes right here. So throw your name in there. I like to address people by their proper names. Jill says Ken will be in Vegas. Yes, I am looking forward to that. Trying to make some plans depending on how these things go. Roman says I'm absolutely right. If you want to see anything that is not good to sell, check out Roman's lives. They're always fun. They're always entertaining. The chat is always popping in Roman's lives. Yeah, I didn't write it in a big enough font to be able to say it is Meg. Meg, that is right. I remember I seen you in a chat the other day and someone addressed you by that. So look at this. I'm going to write this really big. Lilac Seller is Meg right there. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I don't see real well. Actually moved the chat over in this window. Figured I don't need to look at myself full screen most all the time. So I moved the chat over so I can see it a little bit better. So on my plush sales, I sold that one last week, and I'm using all of that money for I've designated all plush sales because I'm going to really push hard in that category I'm going to get rid of stuff by listing more stuff. I think my little quick test last week kind of showed me that I was going to sell some other plush, and I've sold since I've started that, I've sold like 10 plush altogether. And just the numbers real quick. Gross sales about $111. Cost of goods, all the fees and everything taken out. I was actually able to deposit $88.96 into my travel fund. And I really only started that about 10 days ago on the 15th. So I'm going to designate January, February, March, the next 3 months, anything that is a plush sale goes to strictly to my travel fund. So hopefully, if I sell a few more here in the next week or so, if I could get that up to $100 for the month of January and kind of maybe hit that category hard and do say $100 a month in plush for the next 3 months, that's $300. That's gets me maybe a motel room, gets me, or, if I'm out in Vegas, a casino room or something like that. Pays for part of the plane ticket, something like that. So I'm going to start doing that this year, designating certain items or certain categories that I sell in to be for specific projects. Project I have coming up later, I'm going to redo my garage. I have three parts of my garage: parking side, I have a workshop, and I have storage. And this center part, which is the workshop, it's all insulated in there, but I need a way to condition it, heat and cool it. And so I'm looking into getting a mini split, which is a combination of a heater and a cooler or air conditioner. And so I'm going to get certain categories that I'm going to designate um towards those funds, where each week when I get a payment, I'll look at the sales for that week and designate those funds towards those. I think that's pretty good. Of course, I do this as a full-time. I am a full-time reseller. Uh Meg says that she just update her name so that people don't have to stop guessing. There you go. Jill was saying hi to Roman, and folks are saying hi. And good morning, Paul. Good to see you here this morning. Paul, the flippin' sports guy. Ken and I talked about going to Cleveland sometime soon. Maybe we can all meet up. Yes, Roman. We get up towards the Cleveland area. We'll have to set up, maybe go do lunch or go do some thrifting someplace at your hotspots. I've never been to one of those Amazon bin return places. We don't have anything like that around here. Closest place would be Columbus. I'd have to go look and see if there was anything in Columbus that I could go to. So anyway, finishing up that plush, designating all those sales. I got $89 basically in that fund so far. And so I'm happy about that. In just basically 10 days, even though today's the 25th of January, I think it's the 26th of January. I've only been doing that for about 10 days. So man, one of the things, here's a couple other things that I'm going to list today. So I've got these. Jill just picked these up for me at my new honey hole. Santa Claus salt and pepper shakers. Now I'm going to list these. Of course, we're past Christmas, but a lot of sales that I've had here recently, Christmas is still selling. I'm actually sending out Christmas items today. These little I sold these. They're little figures like the wise men, and they're made on an old, like a beer bottle. And so there was a set of 3 of those that I am shipping out today. But it seems like almost every day that I ship, I still have Christmas going out. So Jill just picked these up the other day, this Santa salt and pepper shaker. Now I have a question for those of you who might be a little more into the glassware and the ceramics and stuff. You see, you got basically you've got wait, which hand is that? You got the white face Santa. There is the salt shaker, and you got the black face pepper shaker. Now, what my question is I'm thinking in my listing uh of kinda designating that, and I had it listed, as that it was a white and an African American, salt and pepper shakers. Would you do that in your listing? Would you designate that, they were basically, white and black there? Or is could that in any way be, um, an offensive sort of thing? Is it a good description? I just looking for an opinion there. On that set, probably looking, other salt and pepper shakers, I couldn't find a set like that exactly, but other salt and pepper shakers usually go between 15 and $20 or so. So I'm gonna try to get about 19.99 out of these, is what they'll be listed for. So if anybody had an opinion on that listing of what you would put in there, if that helps designate that or show that, or I don't know. I'm just interested in what folks think. So I will save that listing for a few. See if somebody chimes in on that before I actually click the button. And I got a couple other little things that are right here on my desk that I am sending out today. How about some yummy bacon flavored toothpicks? How good did that I've had these before. They're somewhat bacony, but, hey to Tammy. Shout out to Tammy John. I hope hopefully you are being quiet enough so she can hear me talk the whole time, and you don't have to get shushed the whole time. But good morning, and thanks for watching. And, John, we need to hook up soon, talk to you about some of the sales that I've had on those items that I picked up. And discuss a few financials with that for sure. But bacon flavored toothpicks right there. I actually have 4 of them. So they're in a little tin. There's about 80 toothpicks. Oh, I'm banging stuff around here. And I am going to list those as a lot for around 15 bucks. There's not very many of those listed at all. And that's probably about the going rate. We'll see where that's at. So those are listed. Was Santa born in America? Oh, I do not know. What the original Santa Claus was not. Where was Saint Nicholas from? Was that like Austria or something? Was Saint Nicholas from Turkey? It's believed Nicholas was born sometime around 280 AD near modern day Turkey. Well, there you go. So maybe I should list them as a Thanksgiving item and not a Christmas. Happy, tell Tammy I'd rather listen to you talk, so we're even. Jill would rather listen to John talk than listen to me ramble on. She hears me all the time. I talk about this reselling stuff constantly. Um, how about this item here? Jill's been cleaning out some stuff. This is a Yankee Candle, a little travel tin, but it's Peeps. It's marshmallow chicks. It's like a marshmallowy flavor, or I guess it'd be a scent more than a flavor. You're not gonna eat this stuff. If you buy this from me, don't eat it. I shouldn't have said that. Easy to use, 4 weeks of continuous fragrance, so get that cranked up right there in the beginning of, like, April or whenever. I'm not sure when Easter is this year. It's not necessarily an Easter. Everybody enjoys marshmallowy flavor? Why do I keep saying flavor? Marshmallowy scent. And there is my good friend Lisette, New England Betty Boop. Posh is my purpose. She's about one of the most positive people that I know. I follow her on Instagram and all of the platforms that she's at. And she's motivational. She's putting in that work, doing exercise, just motivating, just being a friend to everyone out there. Just I am super happy to know her. So we're going to list the Yankee Candle Peeps flavored, whatever that thing is called. Little it's odor neutralizing air freshener. That's what it is. It's an air freshener. Okay, so we've got 5 things listed already. We're about halfway through the show. And what I might do here, I'm going to just pop the link in here to the show if that came up properly. If anybody wants to come in and join me here in just a little bit, I usually like to try to have a guest on, just impromptu, who's ever out there that wants to jump in. Let's see. I'm gonna pop that out right there so I can see what's going on. Okay, so you are welcome. So let's see, what else do I have here to list? How about a teenage mutant turtle. Wait, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're ninjas. That's right. They're ninjas. TMNT. Got the manhole cover. It's kind of like dimensional right there. Kid's backpack. Really good shape. I had bought this at a yard sale for $1. And actually, it had a little, like one of the seams up at the top was ripped, and so I took it next door to my sweatshop where my poor dear old mother. I just keep taking over plush and things that I find that have rips, and it's like, man, can you sew this for me? And then she never sees any of the profits at all on any of this stuff. So, but thank you, mother, for all your effort and all your hard work. So I should probably be able to get around 15 to $20. I'm going to list it. It's going to go for like 15.99. It seems to be somewhat of the going rate on those when I do my proper sold comps on them. And so we are going to list that and get the 6th thing listed for this morning. Um, I talk about a topic about maybe missed opportunities. I have a couple of things to ship out today. I kind of showed these little guys right here that are going out, but I have this is Mark Anthony blow dry cream. And there's actually 2 of them going out, a set of 2. I think I might have talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I had bought these at my local Salvation Army. They were putting out a whole bunch of different hair products, tanning lotions, that sort of stuff. And so I comped them on. I actually tried to make a deal on the whole lot of them. They wanted 99 cents a piece for any of the products that they were putting out. And I tried to make them a deal on the whole lot of everything, but the manager over there, she wasn't really having any of that. So I was so then I did my due diligence and I comped them to see which ones I thought would sell or have been selling. And I came down to this product right here, the blow dry cream and some leave-in conditioner, like a spray leave-in conditioner. And I bought it's one of those opportunities where there's a whole lot of something and you're not sure if it's gonna sell. Do you want to invest the money into it or do something to kinda test the waters? And so I bought 20 of these, and I bought 10 of the leave-in conditioner. Now, I haven't had any hits on the leave-in conditioner, and these have been up probably for a couple weeks, and I'm already halfway through these. I've sold 10. These 2 that are going out, I've been selling them in lots of 2 for depends on what the sale is, but, between 22 and $25 that would sell for a lot of 2. So I'm basically turning my $2 investment into 20 bucks in the end, and I've already sold 5 lots of those. So that's a pretty good turnaround time frame. One person actually bought 2 lots, got 4 of them altogether. Well, when I had listed them, just like a couple days, I had already sold 2 of them, or I've sold that lot of 4 to that person. So I went back over to the Salvation Army thinking, "Okay, now I'm gonna buy a bunch of them or all the rest of them, at least of that product," and they were all gone. Somebody else already knew about that, either, a local salon or somebody else that was a reseller might have went and picked them all up, and, so I could have probably there was a bunch of these. I could have probably had 60 to 80 of those, and they've been moving pretty decent so far in just a couple weeks that I've had them out. So I kind of missed that opportunity of not wanting to kind of whatever, take a leap of faith or jump out there and invest that, say 60 to $80 in something that I'm not sure is going to sell. And in hindsight, maybe the market will dry up real quick before I even sell the rest of these, but they've been moving pretty decent so far. And I wish that I would have went back sooner and bought more of them or bought more initially. Now, the other product, the leave-in conditioner, I've had no hits on that. And what I did is I grouped these up. I had single listings, I had lot of 2 for each of the product. Well, I haven't had any hits on the singles of this. So um I actually went in, I ended my listing for the singles and took all of those singles and added them as double listings. So we'll see how that pans out and if I would have been better off if I sell the rest of these real quick. But I'm happy with the sales. It is a missed opportunity for maybe more money, but at this point, say even if it was an average profit of, the $20 in 5 lots, which is half of the lots so far, um, there's $100 that that I'm at 80 if you take off the whole total cost. So I wish I would have done that. And that's one of those things I do this as a full-time reseller, basically to earn a living, and which I am doing. This job sustains me. The electric is on, obviously. I'm putting food in my belly and I can drive my vehicle around and all the bills are paid. There's not a ton left over after that. Um, but again, the reselling is sustaining me, and that's why I am trying to designate some of the different categories towards things like the travel that I want to do or the making my garage into an office and getting that mini split just so that I can separate that money out, and it doesn't get spent up in just basically life expenses. And my mother says, "Hindsight is 20/20, so they say." Yes, that is true. It always is. And so I've got 2 more of those going out. Um, but, where I was kinda going with that little bit of the story is, I wanna start designating some extra of the profits that I do towards bigger buys. If I get an opportunity, now this isn't a huge buy, and it's not that I couldn't have spent the 60, 80, $100 when I was actually planning when I was going to buy everything, of spending, 100, $150 at that time. But, it kinda irked me a little bit that the manager didn't want to deal with me, didn't want to work, so it's like, "Okay, I'll just take the best products and go from there," so, that's what happened, but having those extra funds when a deal comes around, if, you find a big lot of something someplace, or even at the yard sales when you're out, sourcing that way, is having a little bit of that extra money to be able to put back into the business. I do when I first started, all of every bit of the money that I earned just basically went back into the business to get started up, to have capital to buy other stuff. But over time, I'm almost 3 years into that. And some of my, original savings were used up. And so I very prudent about, I've always been good with money and finances, and I don't overspend. But I have money. It makes me nervous when those numbers in the accounts go down. So I'm gonna this year, 2023, I'm going to reorganize a little bit in how I designate those certain monies that go towards, fun stuff like travel and reseller meetups, or necessities, go getting the mini split and doing the office. That's a business expense. All of that stuff will potentially be able to write off on taxes next year, because I am, preparing an office space to be my office, to get, and that's another thing that I think for peace of mind too, it will help. I live amongst my job every day. My listed inventory is out. It's behind me in the living room. I've got death pile stuff in the garage. I've got death pile stuff. This office is a mess. And when I bring in new product, it kind of gets set in the middle of the living room floor while I'm sorting through it or cleaning or something like that. So I need to get that designated space out in the garage area, make an office that will, um so when I'm in the house, I'm not living right in the middle of everything. Um, and so when I'm sitting there and I just want to, enjoy dinner, or I want to watch TV, I'm not sitting there looking at a pile of stuff that should be listed. Or it's like, well, I probably shouldn't just sit here and do this thing. I should probably be cleaning that up or listing. And I try to put the work in during the day, kind of like a job. Get up in the morning, do my listings, send my offers, take my shipping out, come back in the day, do some drafts and some comps on things to get ready for listing the next day. I try to do that in normal business hours so that, you know, I'm not taking up the whole time. Just kind of if I had a normal, like a 9 to 5 job where I had to go to a brick and mortar place. Jill is saying that she's really impressed with how you're, done in this venture. Proud to be on the journey with you. Oh, well, thank you, Jill. Yeah, Jill is getting to be a good picker herself, and a member of the community as well. Starting to get known when she's in a chat or shows up. And so I've got a few more things to list here today. What'd I say? Oh, yeah, I already talked about shipping Christmas items out. And if you're just lurking there in the chat, say hi. Or if you want to hit that link and jump in, I am going to list this right here. This is a Crofton is the brand electric cordless water kettle. 1.8 quarts. It's you plug it in and it like heats up the water really, really fast. If you were making coffee or tea or just needed some hot water, this came out of my folks had a camper, and they would take that and go camping, and had only used it a couple of times, and they had sold their camper over the summer and took all the stuff out, and I've been trying to sell off a few of those things. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And so that probably should go around 20 bucks and as a used item. And so I am going to list that one. Come on, let's get to the bottom of the screen here and list it. And oh, another Christmassy related item. Jill, do you ever just anybody see a theme here? Everything I list is always like, oh, Jill got this. Jill got this. Jill picked this up for me. Because most of the time I'll go over to her house and visit, and she gives me a whole new load of stuff, and I bring it in, and that's what's sitting in the living room. I went through all of my stuff that I already had in here that I had found, and the rest of it is in the garage. But this is a blow up inflatable mailbox, Santa's letters, right there. She had got these on clearance at a store after Christmas. I forget, Joe, even what you paid for these. That was pretty cheap though. And I've seen some sell before Christmas anyway, around $30 or so. Some of them afterwards went a little less, around the $20, but I'm going to list this as if it's just going to sit in my store and sell next Christmas at around $30. And I have 3 of them all together. So it's a multi-quantity listing. So even though it's just one listing, I get uh you know, three items up there, I guess you would say, in total. And all of my stuff I do, pretty much all of it is buyer pays shipping. Now that didn't seem to come out of my drafts for some reason. Let's see if it's in my listings. Nope, it didn't list for some reason. We'll go with operator error. I'm sure I didn't. $5, Jill says that we pay. Yes, that she does, Roman. Not ready to give up her day job though. You all work way too hard. It is a grind. When you see, a lot of people that look at the watch the YouTube videos, and you basically see the highlights. You see, oh, I bought this at a sale for $1 and I sold it for 30 bucks, or I paid 10 bucks for this and I sold it for 150. They don't see all of the effort that goes into, cleaning, testing, comping, photographs, and it is a job, and you got to treat it like a job if you want to be successful at it. And I'm trying to be successful at it, and make a few videos here and there, and do the fun reseller clickbait podcast with Jimmy Old School Flips. I like just the whole community as a whole. I've learned so much from the community itself, and then also doing just having watching videos during the day. It's kind of like you have a coworker, or when you watch a live during the day. Like hopefully during this time you have, you're doing some listing, getting some stuff done. And I am bringing into my chat right now special Lisette, New England, Betty Boop. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, how are you, Ken? Good morning, Joe. Roman. I'm in my car. I'm on the way to the gym. I wanted to pop in like 2 weeks ago, and the time just slipped away. So I said, let me come in now.
Yes, definitely. Lisette
How are
is,
you?
I'm good. She is just one of, I said that earlier. She's just one of the most positive people
I
out
appreciate
there. Always has it as an encouraging, something motivational in all her IG, chats and
I
TikToks and
appreciate
all
that.
all of her stuff.
I
So
try. It's not always possible, but I try.
yes,
So
and oh
on those,
yeah, not every day is peaches and cream and unicorn and
can I see the
uh
chat? Oh, I can't see the chat while I'm on here, right?
you cannot say, but Meg Lilac Seller says hey, says yay, and oh, what happened? She's gone. She took off. Something must have happened. So we will add in Danica. Lady Luck Junk
I was coming to
is
steal Lisette's positivity.
oh yes,
Where'd you
you can
go?
yes. Oh wait, here we go.
Oh, I should
Oh,
turn the.
chat. What's up?
Lisette,
What's
Danica,
up? Hi.
Danica popped in here to have some of your positivity rub off on her. She's reaching for it right there.
So now I know.
Uh-huh.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Hi. I can't really see you because I'm on my phone. I don't know why I thought I didn't just sit down at the desk and do this.
Yeah, I'm on my phone too. But
I was
but now
walking
I
out the
know.
door.
Now I know I can't go.
Jill says she has hair envy right now, seeing your hair, Lisette.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-oh. Is that me doing
Danica.
that? I'll be in the chat.
Okay, good to see you, Danica. Danica's another one. I've been watching her do that bus every day, every morning when she has her coffee. She gets on and works on that bus and just looking forward to seeing the completion of that. So you're off to the gym, Lisette. You said. Oh, she might be frozen. Oh, there she is. Are
Yeah,
you?
it's awesome. I love seeing it.
Yep, you are.
Yeah, I, I'm 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 trying to be a morning person. Oh, can you hear me?
I can. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
I don't know why there's a delay.
Yeah, it seems to be.
So should
Not sure.
wait a minute. So something should I?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would have that delay unless you just don't have a strong, signal and it's delaying on your end with um like buffering.
Is it better?
I can definitely hear you and see you. Yeah, it seems a
Okay. You
little
know what
better.
I think? I had the chat on. I was trying to listen. It was like playing in my car. So I
Okay,
apologize for that. We're back.
gotcha. You're
So
fine. Yep, all
I'm
good.
trying to be a morning person, and I'm totally not a morning person. I probably went to sleep when most of you woke up, but I forced myself to get out of bed today.
I was
That's what
wondering
happens.
now, are you in the New England area?
Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts.
Okay, in Massachusetts. So you're in the Eastern time frame.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were in the same chat, and you had said that, Ken, I'm setting my alarm to come to your show. I'm not a morning person. I'm thinking, what hell, let's set the thing starts at 11 o'clock and it starts, it's
Yeah, but
almost lunchtime.
if I
But
tell you what time I went to sleep, you won't believe me.
so you're more of a night owl then. Do
Oh
you do
yeah.
a lot of your work and stuff at night?
Yes, I do. And actually, I'm so excited because I got up to 400 eBay listings this morning. So I was super happy about that.
Excellent. Wonder, and are your sales good with doing your normal listing and
Well, I'm back to, I haven't really listened consistently for 2 weeks. So it was kind of slow, but my fault, And, but I was doing a lot of other things. I've been learning, I put on global shipping and I've been learning about other, of the eBay, little
yes.
quirks. So, you know, I'll chalk it up for experience, and you know, I'm just gonna keep listing and see where it goes.
Because
But it's
eBay is kind of your secondary platform that
yeah,
you sell on. You're primarily a Poshmark seller, is that true?
yeah. Actually, I sell more on Poshmark and on Macari.
And on Macari, okay.
Hmm.
And you just kind of started here, what, mid last year, getting into eBay, or how long have you been doing
Yeah, it was
eBay?
about yeah. It hasn't really been a full year yet that I've really been like maybe like 8 months that I've really been trying to focus more on eBay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you enjoying the platform? Is it just kind of supplementing your sales, or is it at all starting to overtake, say, your Poshmark or your Macari?
Oh, it has its moments where it's getting better. I could see where it could definitely surpass both of them probably. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I you know I have like money mountains. I don't like to call them death piles, but so I have a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't buy now that I bought in the past, but I'm gonna get all that stuff
Okay.
listed, and then you know my choices are different now when I buy something. And if I buy
Yes.
anything from this point, I list it first before you know because I'm trying to get higher dollar amount sales or
Yes.
quicker flips. Yeah. So you know we learn better and we do better.
Yes, the more you do, yeah. And I still learn stuff. And I'm about 3 years into this myself, and you learn something new every day. Now,
Mm.
do you cross list onto all
I
three platforms?
I do. I use Vendu, and Vendu is my hub where I put everything in, and then I
Okay.
pump it out to eBay, and then Poshmark, and then Macari.
Okay. So you're actually doing your initial listings in Vendu, and
Yeah.
then send it out to the different platforms. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That
And
is
it's good. And now they have the D-list feature on the phone, which is great. Because we all know we hate that double and triple sale at the same. That happened to me like 3 weeks ago. I sold one vest on 3 platforms in 20 minutes.
really, that
Yeah, it was
must have been
crazy.
a hot item
No,
then
the
for
freaking vest. The vest was in my closet almost a year, but I relisted it. And I guess
okay.
I don't know. When I relisted it, it's like, and it was different people. It wasn't the same person. So funny. And excuse my voice because I'm getting over a cold. I'm
Oh,
finally getting.
yes, I had seen that you had been not feeling well lately. Hopefully that is clearing up. We had
Yes,
mentioned
yes.
the death pile there earlier. Jill called it a money mountain rather
Money.
than the death pile, and Roman concurred with that. And
Yeah,
there
I
is
don't.
Ray, the Nashville Flippers.
Hey Ray, what's up?
What's up,
Yeah,
my
I
people?
don't
He
like to call
says.
it. I don't like to call it death pile. Money mountain, money pile. It's money.
And, and Jimmy says, I prefer death pile. I'm all about negativity, he says.
Not me. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't like.
funny.
Yeah, I try to keep it positive.
Oh, no, Jill, you called it a money mountain, not Jill. Okay, I missed that. So yeah, it's
So
yeah,
your mom is not in the chat today. You were talking about moms, so we got to shout out our moms because my mom also does for me um the the crafty gene kind of skipped me. My mom is very crafty. She
okay.
sews, she crochets, she makes all these things, but that skipped me. So, but she does help me with all those uh flawed items and yeah. So I
Yeah,
appreciate my mom.
my mother is in the chat. She was in there earlier. So mom, if you're there, say hi to Lisette. My mother's name is Judy. And see if she comments there. They're usually watching. And it's convenient. I live right next door to them. And so
Yes.
I visit every day, and and go over, and like say when I have those little projects, I can I'm a pretty crafty person myself. My sewing skills are not strong. I could probably sew a bag, two seams
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the side, something like that
Yeah.
if I had to. But other than that, I'm pretty crafty and pretty handy as far as things go. Uh,
Yeah, no, I could sew a
yes.
button. That's about as far as I go. I could put furniture together and lift heavy stuff, but I can't sew anything or make anything. We all have.
Jill says hashtag glitter collection. She's not even gone. I don't know. Should a 54-year-old like single guy have 32 different colors of glitter? It's actually right
Oh,
there in one
you're
of
older
those
than me. You
tubs.
just said your age. I'll be
Yeah.
53 in a few months. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I would not have guessed 50s at all for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's this Coke bag that when I pointed back there, I realized I had that. That's a little like a Coca-Cola, like a soft-sided cooler. I have to tell a story about that sometime.
Oh, are you keeping that? You need to sell it. It'll sell good.
Yeah, I am going to sell it. I'll tell the story right now. I had got that from down the street. There was a house that the people had moved or somebody had died, and the family was in there cleaning everything out. And basically, they were having a little yard sale out front, but everything was free. Everything in the house, all they wanted to do was get rid of it. They didn't want any money. So we went through the house and took a number of things. And I found this little Coke soft-sided cooler in one of the closets upstairs. And I took it home with all my stuff. And it was, a few days later, I got to looking at it. There's a little zippered pocket in the front of that. You can put, keys or whatever that you have. Well, there was a folded up $50 bill.
Wow.
In that cooler. And so I kept checking down there every day to go back. I wanted to give it back to them. But after they were done with that sale, the family was done and they were never around again. So I kind of got the bonus $50 there, which was cool. And I had also taken some old books and some old Bibles and, found another few dollars, 5 and 10 in some of the books, people stash. I guess there's a good reseller tip right there. If you are looking at old books, old scrapbooks, especially old Bibles and family Bibles and stuff, look through them before you sell them. Look through all the pages, and it's hard to tell what you'll find, money wise, certificate, family sort of stuff. If I do find anything valuable, I usually try to get that back to the owner if I can find them.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Sorry.
Yes.
So the summer before last, it actually wasn't the summer. It was going into the fall. It was the end of the summer. And Mom and I went to a church thrift. We were on our way somewhere else, and we found the church thrift, and everything was just in the yard on the ground. And I found this little transistor radio. It was like $1, and there was this 70s leather jacket. It was like a cognac color, like Huggy Bear kind of style jacket.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I was like, I wish that it would fit me. Like, it was just a little small. It had like the zipped out fur inside for $1. Yes. I was like, what? So we got a few things. Mom usually helps me. She checks the pockets and stuff, so I could go home and list it. So I couldn't find any like comps, and I didn't want to just give it, when something is worth more, but you're not sure. So I had it hanging for like 3 months.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? One day I said, let me take pictures of this freaking thing. It's sitting here, So I turned it inside out. Sorry. Sorry. I turned it inside out, and I checked the inside pocket, and I was like, oh, that's gross. What's in there? So I thought it was like old tissues or something. It was $179.
Really? How about that?
That thing was sitting there for 3 months.
Yeah. You never know. Every now and then you get those little bonuses. Ray said he keeps all his millions in his Fabio books.
Oh, Fabio, yeah.
His Fabio book collection. Ray, the Nashville Flippers.
What does he know?
Who
about
knows
Fabio?
nothing about breakfast cereal? By the way, they had the reseller draft the other night on Monday with him and Paul Philly Flipper, and it was cereals. They had TJ Lovelady and Gulf Coast Pickers Ryan on there, and not one of them picked the greatest cereal of all time, the GOAT of cereals. nobody but does it better, first of all, than the Captain Crunch. But peanut butter Captain Crunch is the number one. Never got picked.
Sorry, my friend. I have to disagree.
So what would you go with?
Lucky Charms, but the old Lucky Charms, not all this new crap they have now, but Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops were my cereals back in the day. And now, because I'm in my 50s, it's Honey Nut Cheerios.
I always have Lucky Charms in my cabinet. Peanut butter Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms, Crunch Berries, Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries is usually always in my cabinet.
And they had the best commercials though, Captain Crunch. I will say that.
When you said that jacket was Huggy Bear style, were you talking about Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch?
Of course. Hello.
Some of these youngins don't know that reference.
They have to Google it.
See, Meg is saying, I found a live stink bug in the pocket of the last jacket that she grabbed. I like Lisette's find better. Yes, I would much rather find $179 than I would a stink bug. 50s girl, you're not a day over 23, says Ray.
I'll take it, Ray. My baby's 26. So Lisette Jr. is 26, Andrew Jr. is 23, and Aiden is 15. My baby.
Wow, so you got a tribe there going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta show one more item real quick so that I can meet my 10 listings. This is Sony under the cabinet. CD player, radio, clock,
speaking
timer.
of the 80s.
And it has the remote with it, which is always good for a seller. I picked that up for $10 at a yard sale, and they sell pretty regularly for $50. So
nice.
I'm going to finish that draft, which gets me my 10 for the show. Not that we have to be done. I just want to be done.
Make sure you do your 10. So let me ask you something. Do you do calculated shipping or do you do flat rate?
The majority of my stuff is all flat rate.
Is it?
Yes. And that's kind of I don't want to say a skill, but something that you kind of learn over time. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to price stuff. And in that flat rate, because it's a win some, lose some scenario. Sometimes you make a buck, sometimes you lose a buck on the shipping because you try to make it for everybody. Now, I have been working with something here lately that has really been working out for me. Anything that's in about that 2 to 3 pound range, I have been doing or say over 1 pound, 2 to 3 pounds. Right. I have been listing it as calculated shipping using Parcel Select Ground as the primary. Now, that's the slowest shipping service that the postal service has. But I also give a secondary shipping option of priority mail. Now, what I have found
how do you do that?
Add a secondary. It's just when you're doing your listing, there's another button, add another shipping service. Okay. It's just right beside that. When you're listing on eBay, I don't know how it does it if you're primarily starting on Vendu. But if you go to your eBay listing, it's just add another option. And so I give the people right in the listing the option of the Parcel Select Ground, which is slower, and the priority mail. Okay. Now, when it gets over, say, 3 pounds, I'm back to like a flat rate, and I'm usually choosing like the standard, because you can do a standard shipping rate, and then that gives me the option to ship it priority, FedEx, UPS. I usually don't ship FedEx. I'm not a big fan. But most of the time it ends up in that UPS ground when it's over 3 pounds.
Right.
But what I have found that has kind of making me really helpful to my customers, a lot of them, because the parcel select ground shows up as a lower shipping cost, they are choosing that. Okay.
Okay.
What I am doing when I am actually shipping the item, you'd be surprised at how many times that the priority mail shipping might be a little bit less than the actual parcel select ground. Or if not, it's maybe 50 cents or less difference in cost.
Right.
So I am shipping those items at priority mail. To me, I think it's worth when a customer sees parcel select ground and they think they're going to get their stuff in 5 to 10 days or
And they
something
get it
like that,
faster. Right.
and they get it in 1 to 5 days with the priority mail. Most all of my feedback is, wow, fast shipping. Look how fast this got here. People are excited about that. I think taking that 20, 30, 40 cent hit on the shipping to send it out that way is the benefits of the customer service.
Right.
Anytime somebody gets something quicker, they're happy. And
Right.
so, and it doesn't seem to have affected people looking at my listings and saying, "Oh, I'm not going to get," because I offer 1 day shipping, as far as, I'm going to ship it the next
I
business.
do too. Yes. Yes.
And it has not affected at all people thinking, "Oh, I'm not going to get this in time." I have had a few people that they wanted it quicker and they chose the priority mail option, which
Right.
they were going to get anyway.
Right.
Um, Goodbye, Jill. She had to go for her client. Um, so that's been a strategy I've been using here recently. It's really been working out well for me. So anything first class or less is flat rate. I do a flat rate. Anything that I've been getting in that, say, over 1 pound, before you get to 3 pounds, I've been doing with this parcel select ground
Right.
option. And then anything over 3 pounds, I go back to a flat rate, choosing the standard option. And it seems to be really working well for me. I've talked with some other people. It's like, parcel select ground, I would never use that because the buyer doesn't think they're going to get it quickly.
Right.
But it
But if you
it
give them the
has not
option, yeah.
it has not affected, I think, my sales one bit. And I think that people are happy to see a lower shipping cost than they
Right.
are a quicker shipping time frame.
Yes.
Um, you know, so I'm not selling the antidote to anything. I think
Yeah.
someone can wait on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle backpack. Good morning, Sarah
So,
K. And she does the
hello. Good
same. She
morning.
is saying,
Good afternoon. Yeah, I have calculated shipping on everything, and I was talking to I have two friends, Derek and Cynthia, that always they help me a lot with eBay, and we had that conversation, of course, that time. But and Cynthia was telling me to that she does flat rate, the same thing, and I think over she was telling me about the same UPS ground.
uh-huh.
Because it's more appealing to the customer to see that, because sometimes calculated shipping is very expensive, because if someone in California is looking at something from, in my store, then it, obviously would be a lot more and it might deter them from
Yes.
buying. So, but because I have the store, I have the discounted shipping. So basically on everything that I'm selling, I'm making $1 or $2,
Yeah.
an item, which I just say that it's for the, shipping supplies or whatever I'm packing the stuff with.
Yes.
Because I usually
Definitely.
use poly mailers and stuff like that. So, but I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to try the flat rate. My only thing is, like, if I'm shipping like, what number do you know what I mean? Like, what number do you pick for a flat rate? That's, I guess, like you said, it's going to be, some going to be over, some going to be under. So you
Yeah.
just have to pick a happy medium.
Usually when I'm doing that flat rate, and when it's a first class, I'm choosing whatever the highest rate that, for me, zone 8 in, because you have that all the different zones and it's cheaper, zone 1 and 2 than it is for 8. I'm just
Right.
usually choosing the zone 8 or 9. I guess it goes up to 9, uh, which is the same as 8. And then I round it up a little bit, which
Okay.
I use as towards the cost of my shipping supplies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for example, first class up to a 4 ounce, it's like $4.50. 8 ounces, 475, 12 ounces, 549, and 16 ounces, 599 is what I'm charging. And that's basically the rates just changed the other day on the 22nd. They kind of got rid of some of that Christmas or holiday season surcharges.
Yeah.
And I will throw out any of this, just, the way that you do it, the way that I do it. That's just the way that I do it. I would never tell somebody, hey, you have to do this because it works. It's like
Right.
my
Right.
opinion, and that's what works. And so if I look at the chat here, Meg is saying that she does the exact same thing for her shipping. She thinks she's only actually sent a parcel select twice in the last year, even though it's always listed as a shipping option.
Mm.
Paul said that, he can wait an extra day or two to save the $2 in the shipping,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah. Yeah.
think is
Yeah.
what I think people are better off. I'll say that again. People are better off with the lower shipping costs than they are the quicker shipping time. At least that's what I found in this kind of test that I've been doing.
Right.
Ray only does calculated shipping. That's all he does. He doesn't do flat rate. The flat rate does take a little bit to kind of get used to. And,
Right.
there have been days that I've been upside down on shipping, well,
Yeah.
we all mismeasure or misweigh or something from time to time.
Yes. Or we
And
have
you
old
end up,
listings that. Yeah.
when you had it listed as whatever, $6 shipping, and it comes in, it's going to cost you, $11.50. It's like, shoot. And there's nothing you can do about that. But most of the
Yeah.
time, between the flat rate and the ones that are going out at, say, the calculated rate that I have, is I about break even, every
Right.
day in
Right.
shipping. I never intend to make make money on shipping. That's an old practice that people used to do with eBay until they started to charge you charge you the fees
Right.
on the shipping as well. Because people used to
Mm-hmm.
sell something for 99 cents and then charge $20 for shipping because eBay was only collecting on the 99-cent sale.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so Paul says, same Ray, I don't have to worry about taking any
Okay.
hits or someone saying that's too high and have to refund the shipping.
Yeah,
Great.
and I didn't know that I could have two options. So even if I put priority first and then had the parcel as the second option, it's still better to give them an option. Yeah.
Yeah, to give them that option. And I'm choosing that parcel select first, so they are seeing the lower rate first
Yeah,
than
you're
they
right.
are the
You're right.
shipping time. And now,
Right.
again, that's just what I've been doing, and it's been working out. Paul is saying on sports cards, I do the flat 450, but that is a standard, and you're only above if they bought a bulk lot, which is then they do the calculated. So.
Right.
Yeah, and I had one the other day. Speaking of that, I'll bring up just a quick topic that happened in some of the plush that I was selling. I had one buyer that bought three plush from me. Okay.
Right.
Now that shipping doesn't always calculate outright. And even though the buyer they say they knew what the shipping was and they paid it. I had brought this question up not too long ago about whether you refund some of the stuff in shipping. If I'm putting in a flat rate of a shipping, the person knows exactly what it is, and they're agreeing to pay that. With this particular buyer, when you do kind of like you buy multiple items from one person, that shipping doesn't work out right. They ended up paying like $12.75 for shipping, and my cost was only like $8 or something. Well, as I looked at it, normally I would just go along and I would just, okay, great. I made $4 on shipping. That's good. But I did notice that this person was a repeat buyer in my store. I don't have a lot of repeat buyers. I do, but not tons. And so I refunded them basically $4 in their shipping costs, just with the explanation that, hey, you know, when you buy multiple items, sometimes the shipping doesn't work out. I appreciate, you know, you being, you know, a previous customer, and I do it because I think it's right, and I would want somebody to do that for me if I were buying for them. And I think, you know, you end up with the possibility of having them even be a repeat buyer.
Right. Right.
And I'm not out anything. I didn't refund them the full, you know, shipping amount and stuff like that. So we had somebody, Billsy Bear Memories, Flipping Sports Guy. Which envelopes do you use for your cards?
Oh, that's a good
If
question.
there's a lot or something over $10, he uses bubble mailers. And if it's under $10, I'll use eBay standard envelope option, and then it's just a plain white envelope at that point.
Oh.
So hopefully Billsy Bear and Billsy Bear, I think, is a new person in the chat. I see them in a lot of other chats and stuff. So Billsy, I don't know your name as well. I'm going to write this down with Meg's name. If you want to share, I'd love to address you by the proper name.
I only have about 200 sports cards that I should be listing.
Yeah, I don't usually get into sports cards much. Jill had the other day, there was a kind of an online auction thing that they were having, or something like that, and she bought a lot of sports cards that was like $5 for, just because she's not very sports oriented, but she recognized some of the names, and so she thought, well, let's just pick these up. So once I get them from her, I'll check it out. I don't really get into sports cards at all. Just never been an area that I've dealt with. But I know I can always hit up Paul if I start to get some. Paul, the Flipping Sports Guy, to help me with some of that. But okay, I am done with my 10 listings for the day. Lisette, I always appreciate when a guest comes on, and especially when it's someone that's warm and bubbly like yourself.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jumping in with me. And the name is Billsy. Let's see. Let me answer this last question. Have you ever sold multiple listings with the shipping in a flat rate padded? If they buy multiples, it only charges you the flat rate, even if you yeah, I've put multiple items in a single flat rate, and if I get them in one envelope, yeah, that has happened before.
Yeah.
And if it's the platted flat rate, yeah, you're only ever going to be charged that amount, and it depends on what the customer paid, the circumstances of whether I would refund them some of the shipping. If I'm taking that advantage of being able to send it out in the flat rate padded envelope, that's just smart business on my part. But everything is usually a case by case thing that I do. And again, that's just the way that things that work for me, and I evolve over time. When I first started selling, you know, speaking of shipping, I was in that camp of, if you're not offering free shipping, nobody's going to buy any of your stuff. Everybody just for free shipping. And so I had the free shipping, and then you went into, you know, well, I have to increase my price this much to be able to offset the shipping. So my cost on my item looks higher, but it's free shipping. And then it's harder to take offers and send offers when you're dealing with that. You're paying for the free shipping. And so after a while, I abandoned that. I was straight calculated shipping for a while. And then as I watched some other resellers start talking about doing the flat rate. And it does simplify things and make things easier. I haven't found any case so far that where I've really put myself in jeopardy with you know not really charging enough for the shipping. And I haven't
Right.
really seen where customers, maybe an East Coast customer, that if you got the shipping is whatever $7 and they could get it shipped for $4 from somebody closer to them. But the people out in California, from me, from Ohio, normally their shipping is $11. And it's like, man, I'm going to buy this for $7, at the same price.
Right. Right.
And so, it's that win lose. So majority, I'm going to say 95 to 97% is all flat rate. The rest of it is a case by case, which I've been working with that calculated here recently, and that's working well for me in my thing. And I'm the hero. I'm the hero every time somebody gets their package in 3 days rather than 8 days.
They're happy. Yes.
It's helped my feedback rating. So
That's great. I'm
So-
looking because somebody's parked next to me and they look like they're gonna hit my car. I'm like freaking out.
well,
Well,
enjoy your day.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll
You
chat
too.
soon.
Enjoy your workout.
Thank you. Take
Thanks,
care, guys.
Lisette. Uh-huh.
Bye.
Okay, and everybody, thank you for joining me today on the show. I appreciate it, and we'll keep you updated in the Instagram, mostly about any of these 10 items that I listed today. If they sell between this week and next week, see who wins, me or the death pile. So everybody, enjoy your afternoon, and have a great day and a profitable tomorrow. See ya.